Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is all set and ready to introduce many different revelations that will lead to saga-wide implications in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as creator George Lucas. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is, of course, going to change how we view both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens in several ways, especially for the characters of Luke Skywalker and others as well, a part of the legacy characters from the originals and the prequels. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that, of course, Episode 9 is going to have many different conflicts involved. It's also going to have many different pieces of nostalgia, twists and turns, and a lot of risks are being made by Disney, Lucasfilm, and J.J. Abrams in order to really give the fans a very unique and original experience, apart from both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. Now, on top of all of this, a lot of fans are really looking forward to all of the different twists and turns and how it's going to have a massive effect on the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren and others. And with that being said, what's really exciting about all of this has all to do with the character of Anakin Skywalker. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that Rey is said to travel to a place called the Lost City, where she is said to be in search of Jedi and Sith lore that would teach her new truths related to the dark side and the light side of the Force. It's explained that during her travels throughout a series of catacombs, she begins to hear a voice reaching out to her like whispers. The voice is said to be the Force ghost of Anakin Skywalker guiding Rey to a place called the Lake of Dreams. Eventually, through Anakin's guidance, Rey is able to make her way to the Lake of Dreams, which is connected to the Beyond, which holds the origins of both the light side and the dark side of the Force, that was linked by Anakin Skywalker. It's established that Anakin was the one responsible for creating a powerful Force nexus during his time in the netherworld of the Force that is said to be a part of Rey's Jedi training by meditating in the Lake of Dreams. Additionally, it's explained that Luke Skywalker's power called Force projection, or the doppelganger technique, was actually said to have been learned for, of course, Luke Skywalker by Anakin Skywalker's Force ghost, offering his son Jedi powers from the Wills/Netherworld down to a mortal living in the mortal world. Now, it's explained that this was a forbidden Force power for Force ghosts, judging from the Journal of the Wills. However, it's exactly how Luke was able to use this ability from such a far distance from the actual world of Crate, and that Anakin was with Luke Skywalker while he was actually dying, and even showed Luke during his final moments of how to become a Force ghost and how to transfer one's consciousness over to the netherworld of the Force and to let go and become one with the Force once and for all. Additionally, it's explained that while Rey is still meditating in the Lake of Dreams, Anakin Skywalker is said to offer Rey a series of ancient Jedi lessons in the form of ancient Jedi code, spoken in different language. This is what allows Rey to learn more about the ancient Jedi through Anakin's voice. While this happens, it's explained that Rey becomes stronger and gains the confidence that she needs to confront Kylo Ren again and to find her way to Exegol to meet with Palpatine as well. Later on in the third act of the movie, it's established that Anakin's Force ghost is able to use the energy from the netherworld in order to heal Rey during her fight against Palpatine, where Anakin is described to become a part of Rey's spirit, as well as other Force ghosts in the process. 1,000 generations worth of Jedi are now a part of Rey that allows her to fight Sidious, while of course, and which eventually leads to his demise. And that one of the moments even involves Palpatine seeing Anakin's Force ghost for a split second behind Rey. The upcoming Secrets of the Jedi book is set to explain that Anakin Skywalker trained Luke for decades after the events of Return of the Jedi, leading up to when Ben Solo turned to the dark side, and then Anakin Skywalker at one point in time even saved Luke from killing Ben Solo, and that's the main reason as to why Luke Skywalker stopped and paused from striking his nephew down and related to that moment, and that this was the main reason as to why Luke believed that this was not the Jedi way of the light side of the Force, for killing, of course, his own nephew, young Solo. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, everything related to Episode 9 here, you can already see that J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio, as well as George, they're really trying to tap into Jedi lore that we have never seen before on the big screen, right? They really are trying to deliver something very special to the fans that the fans have never witnessed in the originals, the prequels, or even mostly the sequels, right? The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And that's exactly what J.J. wants to do. He wants to create a new medium of the Star Wars franchise that we have yet to see in the Skywalker saga that's going to take Star Wars in a different direction. A great example of that is the power of the wills, and of course the realm known as the Netherworld of the Force, where all the Jedi of the past go, those who have learned to transfer their consciousness over to the Netherworld. Now, one piece that I do want to go over that's very intriguing about Anakin Skywalker's life after death, when he becomes one with the Force, is the fact that Anakin Skywalker was literally able to teach Luke the way of Force projection, also known as the doppelganger technique. So that power that we do witness during the events of The Last Jedi on the world of Krayt and Ahch-To is actually a power that Luke Skywalker was using that Anakin Skywalker, his own father, taught him some time ago, before the events of The Force Awakens, and that Anakin Skywalker was even behind Luke and was actually with Luke during his final moments before death, and even taught him the way to transfer his own consciousness to the netherworld of the Force. Now, this is a direct nod to one of the original scripts, and of course to the novelization of Return of the Jedi, where Obi-Wan Kenobi literally teaches Anakin Skywalker of how to transfer one's consciousness to the netherworld of the Force and to focus on his voice. So Obi-Wan teaching Anakin during his final moments before death directly mirrors of what Anakin does with Luke Skywalker here during the events of The Last Jedi that will be explained somehow, some way in The Rise of Skywalker through other pieces of canon material. Now, what I like about this as well is that the Secrets of the Jedi book, in case you guys did not know, it's coming out this month in November. It's all, through Luke Skywalker's point of view, telling us new secrets of the Jedi, the Force, everything related to different eras of the Star Wars franchise, specific characters, if you will. Is that, of course, Anakin Skywalker directly trained Luke, his own son, for decades, on and off. And that's exactly why Luke is so very much in tune with the Force and knows the ways of the Jedi so very well, is that Anakin actually trained him to become a Jedi Master. So that's what I like about the Force overall, is the fact that JJ is kind of tapping into it more in The Rise of Skywalker, allowing the fans to understand about Anakin's life after death and becoming one with the Force and exactly what Anakin really did. I think that the other thing that really taps into new lore that we have never really learned about, either in both the expanded universe and the Disney universe, is that, of course, the Lake of Dreams. Let's get on to this. Now, the Lake of Dreams is said to be a powerful Force nexus that Anakin Skywalker created during his time in the Netherworld that allows one to actually connect with the power of the Beyond. Now, the power of the Beyond, by the way, is said to be the very center of the origins of both the dark side and the light side of the Force, and is located over in the unknown regions just near the world of Exegol, which is said to be the very spot in which Palpatine is located. So the fact that Anakin was able to link the power of the Beyond over to the Lake of Dreams, which then hence allows Rey to enhance her powers, and really is able to make her focus on the ancient ways of the Jedi in greater depth, really makes us understand as to exactly how she's going to evolve as a character in the second act of Episode 9. Now, that's the thing about JJ. He's really trying to kind of justify the reason as to why Rey is going to become more powerful in this film and why she always was powerful in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, which could also fall directly in with the leaks that she is indeed connected with Palpatine's bloodline that will be a part of one of the major revelations at the very end of Episode 9 and in the middle of this movie as well. So with that being said, I think it's very safe to say that a lot of you guys out there will agree that the true face of the Star Wars franchise really is Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader without a doubt. You know, if it weren't for Anakin / Vader, there would be no redemption story, there would be no story about Palpatine and Luke Skywalker, the entire Skywalker bloodline would not even be a thing. So at the end of the day, yes, Anakin really is the true face of this franchise that really was started back in 1977 and continued in the late 1990s and the early 2000s with the prequel trilogy, and now the epic conclusion with the sequel trilogy by J.J. Abrams, in the late 2010s. Here we are, before we move on into the 2020s, where Disney and Lucasfilm plan to start a new trilogy based within a brand new mythology of Star Wars. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.